That's why. The Hizb ut-Tahrir have held on to this fig leaf, misinterpreting it. That this is the proof for Hizb ut-Tahrir. This one solitary piece of a hadith, one word, is the proof that Hizb ut-Tahrir is holding on to declare that Khilafah will be restored before Imam al-Mahdi comes. No. My interpretation of the hadith, and of course you know the rule that when I give an opinion, don't accept it until you are convinced that it is correct. My interpretation of the hadith is that a Khalifa would die and there would be dispute concerning succession. And at that time, a man will come out of Medina and hurry towards Makkah, Imam al-Mahdi. I say that the Khalifa who will die will be a Muslim ruler. And that Muslim ruler, it should not be difficult for us to come to the conclusion, be a Saudi king. And we can already anticipate with just a few facts at our disposal, ordinary people, just ordinary people, far less research scholars, that there is going to be tremendous dissension in the Saudi family in the coming years concerning succession. So, in fact, when Naif died, they were fighting. The Saudi princes were fighting, and it was caught on television and broadcast. So vociferous was the differences of opinion and rivalries within the princes of the Saudi family. I think the weight of evidence is heavily on my side that the Khalifa who will die will be a Saudi king. I do not think that Khilafah can be restored until Imam al-Mahdi emerges. But I have not pulled this opinion out of my hat. No. It is based on my Islamic eschatology, Ilmu Akhir al-Zaman. The Quran speaks of Gog and Magog, Ya'juj and Ma'juj. I have a book entitled An Islamic View of Gog and Magog in the Modern World. I made a mistake in the first edition, and we all make mistakes. And I've corrected the mistake in the second edition. In the first edition, I could not, at that time, distinguish between Russia and the Soviet Union. I didn't have enough facts at my disposal. I didn't know the role that Wall Street played in the Bolshevik Revolution. I didn't know it. That Wall Street almost financed the Bolshevik Revolution. I just didn't know it. So now that I could recognize the distinction between the Soviet Union, which was an undercover Zionist contraption, and Russia, it is now possible for me to say that it was the Soviet Union which was with part of Gog and Magog, okay, and not Russia. And once the Soviet Union collapsed, Russia is now returning to Rome. And the Prophet ﷺ has prophesied that we will make an alliance with Rome. If you want to believe that Rome is located somewhere in Chicago, fine, that's your choice. Or Rome is in Youngstown, Washington, that's your choice. You can take it and that's the door, go with it. The rest of us know that Rome was Constantinople. At the time when the revolution, when the Quran was revealed, Rome was Constantinople. If you cannot understand that, go back to school. Rome was Constantinople. And when the Ottoman Sultan Muhammad Fatih conquered Constantinople in 1453, I don't think he became a Christian. So he doesn't qualify to be the Sultan of Rome. I believe he is still a Muslim. Huh? I understand he took the greatest cathedral of Rome and converted it to a masjid, which was something shameful, which was something disgraceful, which was something manifestly sinful, and I thank Allah who's given me life long enough to say this. Rome is now returning. Russia is returning to Rome. Second edition of the book, I've corrected my mistake. I said Russia is not Magog. Gog and Magog is the Anglo-American Zionist Alliance. That is Gog and Magog. And Russia is Rome, with whom we make an alliance. So long as Gog and Magog remain one of the most powerful forces in the world, it is not possible for us to restore the Khilafah. No. This is my opinion. But that does not mean that I say fold your arms and sit down and do nothing. No. While all the sheep are going on election day and voting in election, and as a consequence of their vote, they are validating the Zionist substitute to the Khilafah. Shall I repeat it? While all the sheep are going in election after election and voting for Tom and for Dick and for Harry, and in the process of voting, they are validating time and again the Zionist created substitute to the Khilafah. We should be engaged in the process of public education to try to convert the sheep into people with some sense. I wish you the best of luck in that effort, because it's difficult for them to understand. You don't sit down and do nothing. Not because we cannot restore the Khilafah does it mean that we cannot embark on a program of public education to get them to know that your hearts must be with Khilafah, not with this Zionist substitute for the Khilafah. It is to be regretted that Dr. Iqbal did not recognize the modern Republican state with its parliament as a Zionist crafted bogus substitute for the Khilafah. And he gave his verdict in the reconstruction of religious thought in Islam. I have the greatest respect for Dr. Iqbal. I consider him to be a great scholar. I consider him to be my teacher. But if your teacher makes a mistake, with the greatest respect you have to correct him. And I expect that my students will correct me if I make a mistake. And that is no act of disrespect at all. So when he put into the reconstruction of religious thought in Islam, which very few Pakistanis have ever read, that the modern Republican state with its parliament, according to the Turkish ijtihad, which he finds acceptable, is an adequate substitute for the Khilafah. He set the stage for what has now been created, which gives us these elections, more like a circus really, every few years, and all the sheep go and vote. So embark upon a program of public education to teach the people. No, you must be waging a struggle to try to restore your own political system. No matter if you cannot restore it until Imam al-Mahdi, never mind, but you keep on making the effort.